Today, I have Noah Wickham, who I'm very happy and excited to introduce from the My Amazon Guy. And today, Noah is going to be talking about how to optimize conversion rate for your D2C brand. Noah, I'll let you take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Yeah. So we're going to be diving into essentially landing pages as the primary. So most DSC brands understand from an aspect of doing your advertising that you need to have a really, really well laid out landing page. And the difference in overall conversion on both your ads and just in general on your pages, when you actually have certain details on a landing page, can be exceptionally crucial to seeing your brand flourish. So starting off here, I have what I would typically consider to be just a fantastic landing page. And it's by this company. Many people have probably heard of it, Jot. Jot is just a very, very easy coffee brand, and they do exceptionally well at the idea of capturing customers very quickly off of their landing pages. And so this specifically is one of my favorite from them, and for a few different reasons. One, Jot does a lot of their marketing specifically in video format. So they do a lot of UGC content, work with a lot of influencers, but they also have people come from things such as just basic Google ads, meta ads as well. And so with that, you see some of those characteristics immediately. So you see on this sidebar a very interactive video essentially showing off their product, right? So if you came from one of those influencers, or if you just came from a regular ad, you're instantly understanding the product right away. And that's something, especially when you have a little bit more of a technical product, a little bit more niche that you need to have within a landing page. Now, secondarily to that is making the CTA within your landing page as clear as day. It is the only thing you want to see. Something I see very often as a problem is that people try to essentially utilize the actual product page and the checkout feature as the landing page without offering any form of incentive to do so. And that is something that will kill your conversion rate. People want to be more informed. They want to get something from you anytime they're coming to your site. And so if you can offer that, you'll see in three distinct areas they're talking about this. One, up at the very top, very first thing you see is this welcome offer, 3 gifts, 25% off. 2, they have it right here as the largest part of the bundle, showing the welcome offer and what actually comes in that as a small image as well. This is a very, very minor detail touch that a lot of people miss, where you can say something such as, hey, you get a welcome offer, plus you get this 25% off. Fantastic. People want to know what they are actually getting out of that. And then finally, they have their actual slogan here as well, the coffee for easy, stress-free mornings. This is something that I think is a very pinnacle in the idea of doing a landing page for brands versus doing a landing page specifically for a product, right? You want to be able to get people to remember your brand. And similarly, Jot's slogan is coffee for easy, stress-free mornings, the very first thing that you see. The purpose of this is that you may have heard somebody say that, potentially, again, one of those influencer marketers that they use. And so this is a great way to just have a callback to that and get people to consistently remember you.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying like you want to have like somebody might be saying it on a UGC, and then that's carrying over into from the ad to the UGC to the landing page.
Exactly. And that's how you essentially get branded slogans, right? In the sense of like getting people to remember your specific product without actually even having to think of your brand name at the end of the day, right? People are going to think of coffee. They're going to think stress-free mornings, right? These are things that Jot wants you to subliminally think about when you're enjoying their product.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then the final part here is the unlock the welcome offer, right? So this is something that I think people also miss quite a bit, is this idea that, yes, for every single click that you tend to make people go through for a purchase, people tend to think your conversion rate drops, which it can if people are coming to your site organically, going from your homepage and having to search their way through your site. Jot does exceptionally well with this. And the reason they do exceptionally well with this is because if we click this unlock the welcome offer here, it doesn't even take us to a new page. It is the same page, which you would not have seen. So whether or not somebody actually clicks the CTA button that we are trying to get them to click, which is unlock the welcome offer, or they scroll down because they're trying to figure out some more information about it, boom, they get it regardless, right? And this is a really, really crucial thing that a lot of people tend to miss, as well as understanding once they are actually at this offer, you can see that we actually get a customized version, right? So customize it, different flavors, different coffee, as well as understanding, you'll see this over here, this little badge, and that's specific, again, showing what are people actually getting within this, new bundle that they're doing. So this is a super, super great example of how to build a landing page and key features within that landing page. Again, things such as immediately having what that call to action is. So the unlocking of the welcome offer, as well as the incentive to continue to stay on the site and move forward with all of it. So those two things are super, super powerful, as well as understanding your customer audience and the fact that you're going to have people who know you and people who don't. Showing how your product is utilized right off the bat also really helps for those that don't know your brand at the end of the day, but trying to get them to remember that brand through our slogan.
Love that. And it definitely flows very similar to a funnel, like your typical sales funnel, rather than, this crazy, like you said, reducing friction, the navigation page, all these other toggles that you have to do. It's very straightforward. It's a scroll to element button. And definitely
it makes it just so much cleaner at the end of the day. That the fewer pages that you have to load for them and the fewer clicks that people have to do, the higher your conversion is going to be at the end of the day. And that's just a great example, like I said here, of you either click it or you get to it just from the scroll, right? Which is always great. Now, that being said, there's also examples of really, really, really bad landing pages. And this is my example of a really, really bad landing page for a couple of reasons. So when you first see this page, I always like to ask people, what's the first thing that catches your eye?
For me, it's headline.
Headline. Now, I would agree with that, especially considering if you notice, this giant headline up here is completely separate color from the entire color scheme. So we'll start there. Secondarily to that, you'll see that it's essentially fall preview sale up to 46% off, auto applied, hurry last chance. Okay. We have a lot of CTA going on here, right? Fall preview sale, we have 46% off. It's auto applied. So why are they even telling us about it? And then hurry last chance. So they're trying to create urgency essentially. However, you notice there's a secondary headline, which is rare to see on pages. Secondary, limited supply, 3 free towels. So we're getting 46% off. It's an urgency thing. Then we're also getting 3 free towels. And then finally, we get to the actual brand, right? So we have 3 headers. That's the very first thing here. It's more of a site feature than it is a landing page feature. But moving past that as well, the reason that this is such a bad landing page at the end of the day is because there is too much going on. So talking about Jot, we had a very clear, here's the CTA, here's what you get. Header at the top, you get a welcome gift, you get 25% off. It shows then, here's your welcome gift, unlock your welcome gift. Boom, CTA, CTA, CTA. All just the same exact thing, telling you exactly what it is. Here's the call to action, do this thing, you get this. Fantastic. Clean, straightforward, not trying to get into it. So far, we have basically 2 different areas that we're trying to convince people with a CTA, right? So you're getting 46% off, 3 free towels. Now, we get into the actual listing itself. Again, I talked earlier, this brings us directly to the actual product page, which again is not usually the best way to do things like this. You don't want to bring people to the product page. I won't get into the aspect of how bad the actual design work and pictures are, because I don't think that's super relevant to the idea of a landing page, but I will say design work matters at the end of the day. This looks kind of like a blob, just a gray blob. I don't think this is actually even towels, to be fair. But a couple other things within it. You'll see sold out 4 times, right?
Mhm.
So we have that sold out 4 times, followed by, if you notice down here, color. They're pretty much completely out of every single color except for gray. So it's one of those areas where it immediately gives this impression of like, oh, maybe people are buying a ton of this, right? But at the same time, if you're someone who is buying towels, right? If you're not trying to buy gray or I guess stone towels, right? You're immediately turned off by this entire thing. I don't believe they actually sell these, basically. I believe it's more so they're
Yeah.
trying to create more urgency around the aspect of sold 4X. And then again, we have this 3X free, right? 42% off. Then we get the bonus down here. And then you'll notice there's yet another bonus down here as well. And the proceed to checkout. All of this is too much, basically, is the big thing on a landing page. You'll even see up here, for instance, 10,078 5-star reviews, right? Which, for reference, I've been showing this landing page to people for well over a year now, and that number hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So
This is overselling for sure.
Exactly. And that's exactly the point here, is that this works really, really well 10 years ago. It does. To be honest, this works great 10 years ago. You're somebody who does drop shipping or something, right? And I'm almost positive that's what this is as well. But if you're someone who does drop shipping, this works fantastic, right? Because like your entire thing is that you're doing one ad that you're just trying to funnel as much traffic in and just pick up whatever you want. You don't care about your conversion rate. You don't care at the end of the day if your landing page looks nice, if your designs look nice, right? Which like these are completely different. I'm confused why we're getting towels with all of this. Who knows, right? The idea here is that there are too many CTAs. A great way to solve this, however, would be to do a couple of things. One, get rid of this top banner, right? It doesn't match anything. All of these 3 banners are making it so when you scroll down this page, you can't see anything, right? I shouldn't have to have my entire monitor. And for reference, I have giant monitors, right? Like, but I should not have my monitor or have to zoom out to over nearly 50% to be able to see the entire thing and check out. If my goal is to have a product as the landing page, I don't want the friction of having to make someone who is just zoomed in scroll down multiple times to get to this checkout, right? I want them to be able to immediately just click a button and buy. And so having all of these where I have to click this box, I have to click this box, I have to figure out the quantity that I want, I then have to scroll down to proceed checkout. You're creating so many layers of friction for the end consumer that you are going to end up losing just so much valuable conversion, so many valuable potential customers who probably saw an ad for this and is like, heck yeah, 46% off, or, you know, whatever it is. It says 42 down here, it says 46 up here. So they're also not exactly high detail around here, right? So the big thing with this at the end of the day is that you need to pick your call to action. You need to pick your sense of urgency to consumers if you are going to go to a product page, and make it as simple as just a single click. The fewer clicks you can have for somebody to go through, the more likely chance they will go through with it. Again, we come back to the idea of Jot, where it's either a scroll or a click, and boom, we're here, right? We get that, we're done. It gives that sense. We're not having a million things they have to go through. Whereas this, it's like, okay, we start up here. This brings all of our attention. Then we kind of make our way down the page. We're looking. I can't even see the full product photos because there's so many things going on here, right? And so that's a big, big aspect of trying to increase the overall conversion on any type of landing page.
For sure. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, reducing friction, clear and concise, heading, offer, all of those things. That's essentially what you're highlighting here, which is conducive of higher conversion rate. And, you know, there's this guy who was selling shoes in New York. He said, it's always 2, not 3. There's 2 options. The idea there is just like, you want to have as little choice as possible so that you can make a decision on the spot rather than having to think for ages and ages. Once you start thinking, I'm clicking off the site.
Exactly. And that's the big thing, is there's this age old thing of it's that you have roughly 3 seconds. on
Exactly.
average, like 3 seconds
That's
on
it.
average to capture people's attention and keep them on the page. If it takes longer than 3 seconds, you're immediately stopped. And that's one of the things as well I'll actually add as like a bonus tip for anybody who is creating any kind of landing page, who's doing something similar to Jot or anything like that. Throw your page before you publish it to any type of advertising or anything like that. Throw your page into an insights tracker like Google's page analytics to see what your site and your page load speed is. I have seen people put so much effort into a beautiful looking landing page just to find out that on average it loads, or it takes roughly 3.5, 4 seconds to load because they have too many features, too many designs, attributes, videos on it, and it kills their conversion rate, right? Because if people can't click on a site and just have it immediately load in this day and age, we're not in 2005 anymore with dial-up, and so people have a little bit smaller attention span, so to speak. And so absolutely always check your page speed before loading any type of ad towards it as well.
Makes sense. And if somebody's curious about, for example, they've got an Amazon listing and possibly a full-blown brand, and they've got A+ content and assets, where can they go to find out more about the approach that you are just breaking down?
Yeah, absolutely. So people can head over to our website, myamazonguy.com/direct consumer or DTC, and check us out. You can also head over to maggrowth.com as well, where we have a ton of direct consumer content over there to kind of talk about all this kind of stuff, and as well as our YouTube channel, just My Amazon Guy.